Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Piper Jasmine, and I know I've been MIA, and I feel like I say this every time in a video. I'm sorry, but you know what? This time, pinky promise, I'm back for good. So today I decided to do a freshman year college advice video. Shout out to class of 2019. You guys know that's my class. Shout out to class of 2020. You guys really did that. You guys really graduated during a whole pandemic, and that's gonna be a flex that you can tell your kids. So since there's so many of you guys who have graduated or you're about to graduate, I really just decided that I would do a freshman year college advice video because you guys are finally done with high school, and that is such a blessing. So yeah, I'm just gonna share some things that I think you guys should know before you go into your freshman year of college. So let's just get into the video.
Class, you already know. First class, you already know.
So if you guys don't know, because this is like the first video in a long time where I'm not wearing UGA gear, I am about to be a second year student at the University of Georgia, birthplace of higher education. I feel like I finished it pretty well. First semester was a rocky start. For second semester was like a 3.87 to 3.9. It was really well. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you guys some advice on how to have a really good freshman year of college, because college is such a big transition from high school and just living with your family and being with your family all the time to really just being out by yourself in the real world. So my camera fell, so we're in a different position, but I hope it's okay. Definitely my first advice would to be, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Move-in day was just a mixture of emotions. You're happy to finally be leaving, but then you're also scared that you're gonna start this new adventure and this new path in life. I feel like my camera is crooked, and that may cause you to want to be a little sheltered and to not really go out of your comfort zone and meet people, but you have to remember that you are not the only person who is going through this different transition, and it's just really important to just go out there, introduce yourself, tell people your major, see what classes they have, and just really just start making friends, because literally everyone their freshman year is scared the first day move-in because you don't know anybody, and that's terrifying. You're just an ant in this big old world. For example, UGA hosts a variety of events for their freshman class. Literally, I think it was that first weekend, that's when you take the big G picture. I'm gonna insert a picture of the big G, but basically that's when you just meet your entire freshman class, and we all go out on Stanford Stadium to create the G picture for the class of whatever you are. And it's just such a great way to meet people, connect with people, and just have a good time. Make sure you're going up to people saying, hi, nice to meet you, like, my name is Piper, what's your name? And then there's so many different ways to start a conversation. To just put yourself out there, and if you really do, then you will meet so many different people and have such a great time your freshman year. My next advice would be to save money before you go to college. This is one thing that I did not know. Obviously I knew that college was expensive because we live in America and we just don't have free education, but you don't realize the expenses of like just being there at the college. And I remember all of my friends would talk about like, oh, I didn't realize how expensive college was until I got here, and you truly don't. So since it's summer right now and during this pandemic, there are a lot of job opportunities, at least like where in my area, there's a lot of job opportunity. I can't talk. There's just a lot of job opportunities, and I would totally recommend you guys to take advantage of those job opportunities. The thing about when you get to college, you're paying for textbooks, you're paying for access for your courses, which is so stupid. And that's just like the school side of stuff on how expenses can start to add up besides just the normal tuition, board, whatever costs. Ubers and Lyfts. I cannot even begin to tell you how much money I spent on Uber and Lyft. I'm gonna try to put like a screenshot of some of my expenses. When you are going out you'll most likely be using an Uber or a Lyft. I had my car on campus. Depending on how your campus is set up though, you may not want to drive your car everywhere. It does offer a bus system and you have to ride night campus, but I lived in ECB, so it would be a really long ride and it's really annoying some nights when you just have drunk college students who are doing drunk college student things. And there's also times where I didn't want to eat at the dining hall. You will know quickly that the dining hall gets old very fast and you just don't want to eat it. I was also buying food outside of school. Papa John's Pizza, Domino's, kind of crazy. And then you may have to pay to go to some events. I had to pay to go to some parties. They weren't like super duper expensive. I think the most I paid for a party was like $10-15, but it still adds up. You have to pay for the event, you have to pay for the Uber, you have to pay for the food or after. I mean, it's a lot of money. I'm gonna do a whole different video, I feel like, about how I have been currently saving my money for school. My next advice for your freshman year in college is to remember that college is a marathon, not a sprint. With that being said, some people come into college, I was definitely one of these people. Some people come into college expecting that you're gonna perform the same way that you did in high school. In high school, I was a 4.0 student every year. Graduated top 10% of my class, 4.37. I thought that I was amazing in high school and nobody could tell me differently. When I got to college, it all went downhill. It didn't totally go all downhill, but it definitely humbled me a little bit. And I think Kelsey and I, my friend Kelsey, in another video that I will link up here, I think we actually talked about that a little bit, so I won't go into depth that much. But definitely remember that you may have some bumps and some struggles during the road when you first start, especially like by the times you have your first exam or maybe your midterm. That's when you might like really get into the headspace of, okay, what I'm doing is not working for me. With college, it's definitely a lot different in high school in terms of how you need to learn the material. I feel like in high school, I can kind of just like BS it and I do okay with it. Classes may have had extra opportunities for you to bring your grade up. You may have more cushion in your grade too. Like maybe in high school, your exams only weighed, I don't know, maybe 30%, and then you had all this other stuff that would help you with all of that. That's typically not how it is in college. For example, in my chemistry class, my exams were about 70% of my grade and I only had 3 exams. So definitely second semester was my roughest because I was in freshman chemistry too. In my first exam, I got a 54 on it. It was such a good time in life. You have to realize that the methods that you used in high school may not work for you, or even the methods that you may have used your first semester may not work for you for your second semester. And it's all about just being open-minded and being flexible on how you can change that. You have to remember, A, that everybody moves differently. Definitely don't compare your success to somebody else's success. There have been so many times where I've seen people do so good on a chemistry exam or a calculus exam, and I'm like, okay, what the hell am I doing wrong? Like, is there something wrong in my head? Am I stupid? Why am I here? No. The thing is, people are so different. I'm different from you, you're different than me, and that's really what you have to remember. And then 2, you have to remember it might take you a while to find a method that works for you. My first chemistry exam, I think I started studying 2 nights or a night or 2 before my actual exam. And I think it took me about 2 exams to realize that doesn't work for me. I now study for my chemistry exams about a week before my exam actually starts. And then I realized, okay, just writing notes down in the textbook doesn't really work for me. So I started doing Cornell notes and that works better for me. So that took me until second semester to figure that out. Just have to be patient with yourself and just remember that you don't always have to rush to the finish line. Definitely take your time and perfect what you need to do to be successful in your classes. So since we are still on the subject of like classes, my next advice is definitely make those connections with the upperclassmen, because upperclassmen have so much knowledge because they've clearly been at the school longer than you. They may feel free to mentor you, may feel free to give you advice on what classes you should take, what professors you should avoid, what are some good spots at the school. Just really start connecting with people. And kind of leading on to the whole classes thing, classes wise, definitely use Rate My Professor. Rate My Professor is a website that college students use to rate their professors on the classes that they had, and you'll be able to see reviews and kind of just I wouldn't really necessarily say a feel because it can be kind of biased. Like maybe someone who failed the class left a bad review, but it may just give you an idea per se on what to expect from that professor, whether or not he may give extra credit, extra work, if he grades hard, whatever. Oh, when it comes to scheduling your classes, please, 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 for the sake of, you shouldn't use God's name in vain, should you? For your sake, do not schedule yourself an 8 a.m. If you want an 8 a.m. class, you're just asking to kill your... That's kind of dramatic, isn't it? If you are scheduling an 8 a.m. for yourself, you are just asking for help. That's what I'll say. Waking up in high school, waking up in college is two completely different things. You know why? Because you're able to do more hood rat stuff in college up to the late night. You can't really do that in high school because you have rules and you live with your parents. That didn't really hurt anyone if the class was at 11 o'clock. But if you schedule an 8 a.m. and it's required, good luck, Charlie. I don't know what to tell you. And kind of with the whole scheduling your classes, my advice for scheduling your classes, I typically like for my classes to be back to back, because that way I don't really have a large gap, because if there's a gap, 9 times out of 10 I won't be productive and I will go back to my room and take a nap. I also like to give myself 15 minutes in between classes. I personally hate morning classes. I was probably late to my 9:05 my first year like 30 times. My grade dropped because I wasn't in class. Learning experience check though. Definitely recommend to be done with your classes by 12 o'clock, because if you're done by noon, that leaves you with so much free time and a variety of things to do with your friends, get work done, eat, sleep some more. My next advice would definitely be about clubs and organizations. I personally did not get involved in that many clubs and organizations my freshman year. I really had to just focus on adjusting and tackling the classes that I was taking. My freshman year, I only got involved with Georgia Days, which is a minority organization at the University of Georgia. I know so many people who got involved: Senate, student organizations, African Student Union, and some of my roommates even got involved in sororities. And I would say definitely at least just take a glance to see what clubs and organizations that your school may have. Don't think you should put a lot of stress on yourself on whether or not you should join those sororities or organizations, because it's just your freshman year. You have 3 more years to make an impact at whatever you're going. So I just personally don't think that you need to be so adamant about being super involved in school. My next advice would be that since it's summer, definitely try reaching out to other students who you know who are going to your school. I know last summer I was in a group chat. It was called Elite 8. RIP Elite 8. It was such a great group chat, and we were Elite 8 because Black people make up 8% of the UGA student body. But having that group chat really allowed me to connect to different students, and by the time I was on campus, I had a pretty decent amount of friends. I just knew people who I could hang out with when I first got there. I was already comfortable with knowing some people on campus and eating with some people, hanging out with some people, and it was really great. And I'm still friends with a lot of them to this day. So definitely try to just connect with people who you think will have similar interests with you. And I know that some schools have social media accounts where you'll be able to post about yourself and have a little bio and just connect with different people on social media who are all going to the same school as you. Okay guys, so that's really all the advice that I have for freshman year of college. I hope it was helpful, and I really just want to let you guys know that college, I really hope that you guys are looking forward to having a great experience. No matter where you go, I really hope that you chose a college where you feel like you're going to be at home and you feel like you're going to have a great education, first of all, and where you feel like you're going to have a really nice social life and be surrounded by people who will uplift you and just really push you into doing really good things in life. I personally love my college. You guys all know this, and so I really hope that you guys will have that same feeling and just love wherever you're going, and you can't wait to get there. You guys have any other questions, whether or not you go to UGA, just about college in general, feel free to comment them down below, and I'll try my hardest to answer them as soon as I can. Like I said, I'm gonna get more active on YouTube again, so really make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, and as always, I'll see you next time.